Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the Teenage Designs Group Limited. I hope you're keeping it safe and well. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about what is representation and how it builds brand power as well as visibility. Now, to know this is to not only level up within your own brand, but equally level up within your own mind's eye, and equally to be able to help make sure that all things moving forward adhere to these key things that I'm going to be sharing with you shortly. It's super important. Representation, as you know, is a super important topic for myself as well, simply because when you get to grips with what representation really means, and as again, I'm going to be sharing that with you in this rest of the video. When you get to grips with what representation really means, you'll be able to level up within what you're doing even more so. And it just really brings awareness to a whole host of things that maybe you were overlooking, but equally now, off the back of watching this video, you're now going to be more so mindful of, but equally you're putting these things to the top of mind because, yeah, they're super important, especially when it comes to valuing these key things. Now, before we get stuck into this video, as always, stick to the very end because I want to make sure that all of what I'm sharing in this video, you're then going to be able to understand how you can start actioning these things and how you can actually make it suitable to you. Because it's all very well and good, right? I'm talking about these things, but at the same time, it's not going to mean anything unless you're doing something with it, right? So stick to the very end because I'm going to be sharing with you some key things that you'll be able to make sure you start actioning. And also stick to the very end because that means that you're going to be taking representation into your own hands. And equally, the things that you're going to be valuing when it comes to representation. So with that being said, let's get stuck into it. So, okay, as I said, we're going to be talking about representation, more specifically, how does it build your brand power as well as visibility? Now, the first point that we want to raise here, or actually draw your attention to and always keep top of mind, is the idea of creating the value for reflection. Now, here's what I mean by that. Reflection comes from the idea of literally, does your audience see themselves looking back at them? You, for example, I always talk about the idea of you're an example of a way forward. Well, this is exactly what I mean by that. Do your audience see themselves in you? Because you are the brand at the moment, right? You are the one who is making sure that you are creating this awareness and you're around your visibility, and equally the cause that you're trying to raise awareness for. So are you reflecting your audience? And is your audience seeing themselves in you, or what you're doing, or the messages that you're putting out there, or the experiences that you've had? If they are not seeing themselves in you, your brand, in that respect, they won't get it. They won't get your journey. They won't get your fight. They won't get your cause. They won't get the idea of what you're even saying with regards to your brand and why you're even building the awareness for it in the first place. They won't get what you stand for. So that's number one. Number two is now taking the idea of reflection in mind, keeping that, but now also putting this element top of mind as well. And that's the idea of diversity. Now, when it comes to diversity, you're not only addressing the idea of age, race, gender, disability, sexual orientation, and so many more things, all the way through from work experience to education, geographical regions. There's so many things that diversity actually covers. You're not just addressing those things, but you're making sure that you're specifically resonating with maybe somebody's ethnicity, maybe it's somebody's gender, maybe it's the struggles that they've had in these specific areas. If you're not addressing those things and really raising awareness to the aspect of what that feels like, what that fight is, what that cause may come from, whatever that journey may feel like, if you're not resonating with those things, if you're not picking up on those things, well then, yeah, again, back to that word resonation, right? You are not resonating with your audience. They are not going to get it. They are not going to get you more specifically. And the awareness that you're trying to build around your subject, around your brand, they won't get why you're doing it. Because you're not resonating with them. You're not creating that common ground. When you create that common ground, you get to know the type of language to use. You get to know who you are speaking to even more specifically. I always talk about people pools, right? This is a clear-cut way, an example to make sure that you understand your people pool and who is actually in your people pool. Meaning that each person that you're speaking to has a different reason why they're coming to you, or equally why you're speaking to them. It could be down to the fact that, you know what, they just love your journey, but they really want to make sure that the words that are coming your mouth really resonate with their culture, really resonate with their gender, really resonate with who it is that they are and how they walk in this world. So think about the type of people that you're speaking to. How do you resonate with them, especially by way of diversity? Are you reflecting that diversity? Are you reflecting that image that they can see looking back at themselves? Because if you are, well, then that's 2 points up to you, to the point where you're now helping them to understand you even more so, but equally understand, do you know what, this person gets me? Now, on that note, because you're creating those examples of that way forwards by way of your message, by way of your marketing, by way of you showing up within your brand and your visibility as well, the experiences that you've actually created is now helping others to see that way forward, right? So now when you keep that in mind, keep this third and final thing when it comes to representation and what you should value in mind as well. And that's the idea of space. Now, when I'm talking about space, I'm talking about space as in where to even show up. Can it even be possible to show up? Essentially, folks, I would have spoken about this already, but you're creating a level of possibility that to others may not have even seemed like it could have been a choice, or to others may not have even seen that it could have been a thing to even happen. I'm going to keep saying this phrase till I'm blue in the face. Number one, you are more than what you see. And number two, you are an example of a way forward. So help others to see that certain spaces, which at one point could seem unreachable, untouchable, or even, is that attainable? Help them to see that yes, it is attainable. Yes, it is reachable. And yes, it most definitely is touchable. And yes, they more specifically can be a part of that space, and they more specifically can help themselves to make it happen. But it can only happen if you're showing that. And it can only happen, especially by way of your brand awareness and what you're doing to create your brand power. This is why I use that word power when it comes to branding. And the way that you're actually leveling up within your visibility. You're helping others to see that they can level up too, and helping others to see that there is a way forwards. So, folks, that question back to you again. What is representation and how it actually builds your brand power as well as visibility? Well, it comes from the idea of reflection, it comes from the idea of diversity, and it comes from the idea as well of space. With representation, you are creating those opportunities or the experiences to be able to help others to see that all those things can happen for themselves. Representation is super key for any brand. It matters. And yes, it's something that you should be definitely adhering to. Now, how do you make it relevant to yourself? How do you make sure that you're doing it in a way that's congruent to your standards and your beliefs as well? Well, you tap into these 6 key principles. My branding principles are there to help you to level up with the idea of representation in mind, with the idea of making those better connections in mind, and with the idea of making sure that your brand gets the awareness that it actually deserves. And more specifically, as I said before, that is always going to be congruent to your standards and your beliefs. You can only make those things happen by taking action with it. Now, remember at the very beginning of this video, I said it's all about not only just hearing what I'm saying, but equally it's all about taking action too. So go ahead and click on the link that's in the description box below this video. Click on that first link specifically. Enter in just a few details that I need from you in order to be able to send you the information. Now, before you get the information, please make sure that you do this. The email prompt that I'm going to be sending to you, take it out of your junk folder as well as your spam folder to make sure that you actually get any emails coming from me moving forwards, but more so specifically to make sure that you get this key information. These 6 key principles essentially are acting like a checklist for you. This checklist for you specifically will be able to help you to not only level up, but equally to do all those things that I mentioned before. Make those better connections. Know how to make sure that representation actually works for you and your brand as well as your audience that you're actually speaking to. And equally also know that it always suits you, your brand, your awareness, and why you're doing what you're really, really doing. So, folks, go ahead, click on that link. Make sure you get to grips with what those 6 key principles are. Share the information with me, because you know me, I'm always all nosy and I want to find out how it's actually helping you. And make sure that you always like and subscribe to my channel, because I share content just like this and then some. So until then, folks, I will see you on the other side.